Hello, and welcome to the Home Office Management Expert Podcasts. I'm Helene Liatsos, the home-based business expert. I have done a series of podcasts to help you, the listener, start your own home-based business. I hope you like them and that you find them very useful.
The one thing that does not stop ever for any business is the need to generate sales. So I thought I would spend some time today going over some guidelines about sales and how to concentrate all your efforts towards successful selling. I've broken this topic of sales into two sections. The first one is the art of sales and having good selling techniques. The other one has to do with the overall spirit of entrepreneurship that leads to good salesmanship and a successful business. The basis of all sales is attitude. The difference between a regular salesperson and a super salesperson is their positive and optimistic approach to selling. A long time ago, I heard a story that illustrates this point totally. A young man embarked on a sales career selling widgets. An older salesman was assigned to take him under his wing and show him the ropes. As they were driving around in their territory, the young man pointed to a store that he felt would be a good candidate for the widgets. But the older salesman told him that he called on that guy a month ago, and the answer was no. A little bit later, going past another store, the young man said he wanted to go in and try that place. But the older salesman said that he didn't think they would be interested. This continued all day, and by 5 p.m., they did not make any sales. The young man was disheartened. He reported back to his boss and shared this experience. That was when his boss sat him down and explained to him what the fundamental principle was about selling. You must assume the sale. If you think they will say no, they will say no. But if you go in there and be friendly and tell them what you've got, get to know them, they just might be open. Be cheerful. Everyone loves to be around positive, upbeat people. When customers see that you feel good about yourself and the product you are selling, they will probably be more willing to buy. Okay, so the first thing is a good attitude. This is followed by techniques or characteristics you must have. The first one is that you need to be a good listener. You can't possibly know everything there is to know about your customer and what their needs are all the time. Things change, and with those changes, you will have to acquire new knowledge. So after you listen, you must ask the right questions. These questions qualify the needs of a customer as well as their finances. Be prepared to face their objections. What they don't like is just as important as what they do like. If they can't afford to buy at that moment, what can you do to help them? Maybe buy smaller quantities or buy on as a pay-as-you-go plan. By listening to what the customer is saying, you will be able to provide the solution and make the sale. And of course, what good listening also means is that you don't talk too much. It's not about you. It's about them. So, since it is about them, you need to be a friend. That's number 2. People prefer to buy from someone they know and like, so you've got to be that person. You find a common link, what you both enjoy, what you both believe in, where you both come from. All of these can create a relationship. Learn about their family, where they live, what they like to do for fun, how long have they been in business, how they first got started. Remember their birthday. Acknowledge them during the holidays, even if they haven't bought anything from you in a while. Keep them in good standing, because when they do need to buy, they will remember you. One of the ways I learned about how to do this when I first got started selling is that I substituted the word tell with the word sell. I tell people about what I do. I explain how I provide the service and what they can expect from it. Nobody wants to be sold, but people do want to learn about things. So I just tell them. I keep clients as friends, and I also keep potential clients as friends, so they are comfortable with calling on me in the future. Another good thing to realize about selling is that we should not prejudge people. This goes back to the story I mentioned earlier, the older salesman assuming things about potential customers and closing those doors on those relationships. I had that experience a long time ago when I was a fairly young woman. I wanted to buy a new car, so I went into the dealership for the type of car I thought I wanted. I went in after work one evening, so I was dressed professionally, and yet, when I entered the dealership, no one approached me. Finally, after walking over to the desk and asking about a new car, a salesman was assigned to me. We walked out to the lot, and I told him what I was looking for. He showed me two cars that were sitting next to each other. I looked them over, and I asked him a couple of questions. He then told me it would be better if I came back with my husband so he can make the right decision for me. At this point, I put the brochure on top of the car and said, if you knew how to sell to women, you would sell more cars. I walked off that car lot, crossed the street to another dealership, and bought the car that I deserved. Got to tell the truth. Don't make promises you can't deliver. There is a dichotomy sometimes between sales and service. The salespeople are out there telling customers what they can do, and they can do this, they can do that. But when service comes in, they realize they can't deliver what the salesman promised. Overpromising is not a good technique, and it has long-range ramifications. Customers may buy once, but they don't buy again. Another big no-no is bad-mouthing the competition. Why do this? It just makes you look insecure. It makes you look unprofessional, and it makes you look like a jerk. It takes away all the goodwill you are trying to establish by being their friend. As an overall recap of all that was covered today so far about selling, let me share with you what I heard somebody say once. When I want to remember how to sell, I remember how to buy. Put yourself in the customer's shoes, and you will be successful in sales. Presentation of the sale is also very important. I learned how to sell by putting my presentation on an index card, or two index cards actually. I stood in front of the sofa and I talked directly to the pillows. Each pillow had a couple of buttons, so that was my eye contact. Eventually, when I learned my presentation by heart, I delivered my presentation with props such as brochures and charts. I was still nervous when I went out to my first few presentations, but I kept reminding myself of all those buttons, so that calmed me down a bit. Learn how to sell effectively. Be yourself. Everyone loves to be around people that are confident in their product, so learn about your business extremely well.
That's our podcast for today. If you want to get all the steps to starting your own home-based business, go to www.thehome-office.com. I offer an online course, a digital DVD, and an ebook, all on the subject of how to start and operate your own home-based business. I'm sure that one of those will be right just for you. Once again, please visit www.thehome-office.com. And remember, my motto is, love what you do, and the lifestyle will follow.